Welcome to the Crypto Campfire. They were addicted to the hokey pokey, but they turned themselves around. Mitch and the Professor. Featuring special guest JMACK.
Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of the Crypto Campfire podcast. Today we've got JMACK on the show with us. He's a blue-collar auto worker by day, and he's driving crypto adoption with the Pay with Litecoin campaign by night. Good to have you on the show, man. How are you?
Doing awesome, man. Good to be on here.
Awesome. Glad to have you. So why don't you just kind of introduce yourself and kind of let us know what you're into and what you're doing and kind of what you're doing in the crypto space.
Well, I got here, I was kind of the unlucky crowd, kind of got in the 17. I got it a little bit earlier in 17. It was more like the summertime. But, you know, I bought all the way up. I'm still buying. So it's kind of one of those things. And at this point, I'm kind of working with the Pay with Litecoin guys, and we're trying to push for crypto adoption.
Fantastic.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
So how'd you get into crypto? How'd you first, I know you said you're kind of like in the 2017 era, but how'd you first hear about it? How'd you come to buy it?
Some of the guys that I work with age group, all different age groups. Some of the younger guys that I work with were all excited about it. And this is early, probably May, somewhere around May in 2017 is when I started hearing about it. And then I started researching it and started getting more involved during the summer.
Great.
Awesome.
So which, I know you're really big into Litecoin. What, was Litecoin the first coin you got into, or did you find some other ones?
Litecoin was the first coin I got into. It was one of the first things that I was researching. I really liked, Charlie Lee and the potential for, with it being a faster option than Bitcoin and using the same, pretty much copied from Bitcoin. I figured that was a good way that was going to be accepted along with Bitcoin because it's the faster option. Bitcoin, I kind of still see more as a gold, more of a store of value.
Right.
And I thought maybe something with Litecoin being 4 times faster would be more of a payment coin. And I can see people really getting into it because they kind of go together. I think it's kind of, people talk about it, but I think it's kind of true.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a good pairing. I mean, they each serve their own purpose. Mitch, I know you were kind of massively into Litecoin.
Yeah, I got a few. Yeah,
what do you think about Litecoin?
I like the speed. I like the cost effectiveness and the efficiency of the process, to transfer. I think the peer-to-peer transfers and use like that are amazing. I think it's got a lot of potential for the future here. I just think the adoption of it has been pretty strong, actually. And I remember seeing a lot of guys, showing videos of them actually transferring Litecoin from peer-to-peer. And I thought that was just so cool. So I really started amping up my bag on Litecoin, that's for sure.
So Jay, I'd like I'm kind of curious your opinion on XRP versus Litecoin. I know the XRP is awesome because of its speed and all that, but it's definitely a different use case. And
absolutely.
But as far as payment speeds and we were talking earlier about the kind of hand in hand applications of Litecoin and Bitcoin. How do you think XRP falls into that?
Well, I think XRP is a little bit of a different character. Me personally, I don't have much of a problem with, XRP. I think it is more of a centralized coin. I think it's faster than Litecoin. But I think they have different purposes. I think that you can use either, it is my opinion, but I choose to use Litecoin. But nothing against XRP. Like I said, it's very fast. It's just not something I've gotten into.
To me personally, I think XRP is more of a business type application than a typical peer-to-peer application like Litecoin would be.
Exactly.
That's probably a good way to put it.
Yeah, thanks. I just, like I said, XRP has its purpose, and yes, it's very fast. A lot of businesses are adopting it. And I don't want to say they cater to banks or, cater to that, but that's kind of the niche that they're filling, right?
Exactly. Trying to circle it around to a point about, it's all an ecosystem. Everything has its own point, and there's a lot of hostility between factions, if you will, in crypto Twitter. It's kind of a crazy thing. You've got the Bitcoin guys hate the XRP guys, and the XRP guys hate the Bitcoin guys, and the Tron guys hate the Ethereum. It's weird. Not everybody is like that, but you've got your little faction set up, and it's funny because it's the whole point is that every coin serves a certain purpose, and maybe there's competitors between them, but it feels like the biggest competitions are between coins that are different use cases. And it's like the biggest drama is
I 100% agree. You have totally two different applications, and you have communities that really want to go to war over it. And I think it's just absolutely ridiculous.
It's confusing to me, to say the least.
I think a lot of that, and I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, but I think a lot of that is based on the lack of maturity of the space.
Oh, 100%.
We have a lot of youth. We have a lot of, and I say youth, I say, between the ages of 18 and 30, right? To me, that's a younger generation. And so their values are different than us old guys, right? The guys that have been doing this for, not necessarily just this, the guys that have been in life for a long time. Okay. So there's a lot of, I don't know why there's so many egos though. It seems like there's a lot of ego when it comes to crypto, and it's like, we're all in this together. Why does this guy have to be better than that guy, have to be better than this guy? This guy's not as good as that guy. Who cares? Right?
Absolutely. I think the internet has contributed healthily to the ego situation. People say things to each other that they wouldn't necessarily say if you were standing there in front of them.
Yeah, so. Right?
Totally agree with that.
What are they called? Keyboard warriors?
Keyboard warriors.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. So speaking of crypto Twitter, when did you first, I know you said you first got into crypto in 2017. Did you find Twitter about the same time, or kind of were you already involved in it before you really got into crypto?
No, I started my account to start following Twitter. I'm sorry, the crypto information, because I knew Twitter was really, popular with the Twitter crowd, the crypto crowd. So yeah, I started it shortly after that.
Gotcha. Just specifically for crypto then. So,
Yep.
So who was your first person you followed?
Probably Charlie Lee.
Nice.
Makes sense.
Absolutely.
It's funny. The first person I followed, if I recall, was Justin's son, believe it or not.
Right on. Yeah, funny story about that is I work with a guy named Charlie Lee.
Oh, really?
And yeah, of course it's not the Charlie Lee, but of course, I read the name and I was researching all these coins, and sure enough, I was like, you know what, that's got to be a sign.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So other than Litecoin, what are kind of your what's your kind of secret bag that maybe you're a little embarrassed about, but what coin do you secretly love that maybe you don't want to talk about?
That's a fun one.
Here's one. I like BAT. I like Basic Attention Token. I think it's just going to be something that is just going to blow people away. You're dealing with the guy that created Foxfire Mozilla.
Yep.
He invented JavaScript, right?
Yep.
So he's already known in this space, and they are doing some pretty fantastic things so far, my opinion.
Oh, dude, you guys can't see this right now, but I'm like jumping up and fucking down here because that is an amazing fucking token. And it's just like all you guys that I'm becoming friends with on Twitter, like you, JMACK, it's like we're meant to be friends, right? I mean, it's just
Absolutely.
crazy when you said that. I about shit myself.
Like, oh my God, it's me.
Here's the strange part about all of it. I just met you guys tonight, and it takes a little while for us to get a little bit used to each other. But bang, we're right here. We already know.
Right.
I've got high hopes for Bat. I think we're going long and far with that because I use the Brave browser every day. It really does a good job at capturing the proper concept of what blockchain can do with microtransactions. And that is finding a way of easily cycling cash flow from advertisers to users to content providers seamlessly without any weird transaction fees or anything like that. It's just a quick, easy, it's lovely. I love it.
It is. Since you were on the topic of basic attention token or BAT, as you guys put it, what about BitTorrent or BTT? What are your thoughts on BTT?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I haven't got too far into it. There's a lot of rumors around what Justin Sun's doing and everything. So, it's hard to say. I haven't got into it too much, so I shouldn't really give my opinion.
There you go.
I'll throw mine out there because I'm a fan of BTT, so I'm not gonna. I'll take the shameless minute and pitch my thing about BTT. It's got the same kind of concept in mind as BAT does with the the microtransactions and monetizing content as simply as possible. And the more I talk about BitTorrent token with people, the more I find that a lot of them just they're not thinking far enough ahead, of how things change as the internet changes. In the current environment that we have, it doesn't make sense to serve your own content on a torrent network. But as connection speeds increase and storage capacities increase, it becomes trivial to handle that type of content. And enabling that sort of reach where you're decentralized as far as your data distribution goes, and you've got microtransactions enabled to transfer funds from content consumers to content contributors, it really caters to the next generation of the internet.
So the token is being used to pay the content providers on the torrent, the BitTorrent.
Right. So that's like the long-term goal of it. So basically, you'll have your content on BitTorrent more or less. I'm sure it'll be a different application framework by then, but you provide your content, and then as people download your content, which right now you'd think that is like a movie, like you'd go download a movie. But think further in the future where you go and you're just BitTorrenting somebody's social media profile, and it doesn't really feel like a download because it's just like web browsing, but just over the BitTorrent network.
I see. Cool.
He lost me, JMACK. Don't worry. I'm like,
no, he didn't lose me. Come on now. No, I think that's cool. I think that makes sense. I had heard, and I don't know if this is true, I can go ahead and ask. I didn't know that if you could use them for like a faster torrent speed.
Yeah, there's a thing called BitTorrent speed. That's, it does that. But I think what the goal of that was to just get a use case working right now, but it's not really the long-term goal of the project. It's just an intermediary step. Yeah. So
I see.
I'm a fan. I think it's got some good applications. I'm not in love with it, but I like it. So it's a good one.
Yeah, I'd like to look into it. Like I said, some of the information I see and hear about Justin Sun and, some of the stuff that he's doing, I mean, this BitTorrent thing could be huge for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a huge acquisition that, this could go any way. So, yeah, I probably need to look more into it and give it a little more time.
The stance I take on it at the very least is there's a good chance of at least some short-term games. I know that long-term, as long as they can make, I mean, this is a big undertaking. What we're talking long-term as far as that whole data distribution network is, I mean, it's not trivial by any stretch of the imagination. So there's a lot to be seen whether they can accomplish this or not. But if they can, I think it's going to be pretty cool. But like we say, anything can happen. A company can fall apart in minutes.
Absolutely.
I don't fall in love with anything if I can avoid it.
Absolutely. And with all this tech stuff, things change so fast. And like Mitch was saying, sometimes, man, I even get lost. And I was following it real close, and then I can get lost. So, things change really fast in this space. And to keep up on everything isn't easy.
There's just so much, and there's so many great projects, and there's so many not great projects to weed through to find the giant list of great projects. And then you've got to weed through those to pick out which ones you can actually have time to digest. So I feel you. It's you've got to just kind of stick to a few that you know and like.
I feel like Morpheus sometimes in the Matrix when all he sees is all the numbers flying by, just all the code.
Absolutely.
You get the deer in the headlights look. what was that?
Or if you get around a bunch of other cryptos and they all start spitting out their kind of favorite coin, man, you spend all night talking about them and you don't even know which one you were talking about,
Exactly. The funny thing is on my end, from when I got into this, my technology basically stemmed to my phone. And I would say my use of technology has grown exponentially since I got into crypto. It's crazy.
I'm totally with you on that.
I had the flip phone until my kids were probably 16. They're like, Dad, you got to get rid of the flip phone, man. So they talked me into getting a smartphone, and I've been hooked ever since. I just fell in love with technology, and then, crypto and blockchain, it just blew me away. So it's amazing how when you find something that you can grab hold of and be passionate about and take interest in, how much you can learn.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that? What about that moment that you guys got hooked? You guys remember that feeling?
Oh, yeah.
When it kicked in, when it finally kicked in, you couldn't reach for your wallet or your phone fast enough.
Right?
My moment for that was it was kind of a oh fuck moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
You said you listened to the first episode. You heard the story about when I first heard about Bitcoin, which was 2009. Sigh.
Exactly.
I've been into tech my whole life. I was programming in seventh grade. Sixth grade is when I learned about what programming was, and seventh grade is when I started. And so I've always been I just love everything tech. And I saw Bitcoin in 2009, and I just whatever I looked at to learn about it, it just I don't remember. It wasn't like an eventful moment, It was just some other thing on the internet. I don't even remember how I felt about it at the time. I know I looked it up. I know I dismissed it. And I know it was the worst mistake of my life from a financial standpoint, but I'm here now. And yeah, that feeling was that news article, whichever first one it was I saw, Bitcoin was hitting 20 grand, and it was like, I guess I better start looking closer. But yeah.
Right on.
That night that my buddy helped me set up my accounts and stuff, and I bought some Ethereum, and I bought some Tron, and I bought some XRP, and I think there was one other one I bought. Not a lot of money. I only put a few $100 in the whole thing for that night. Well, the next day when I woke up and everything was up big, percentage-wise from where I bought it, I was like, oh my God. So all of a sudden I'm this big trader, right? I'm selling shit and I'm buying shit back with profits, and it was crazy, yeah, I made $25 already, so that was when I was totally hooked. And it was oh my God, it was a hell of a ride since then. Everything went down, and fortunately I put in a toe at a time. I didn't jump in with both feet. I put in a little and a little and a little, and just kept buying. I basically bought every dip from here to Cincinnati. So, and here I am.
You and me both, brother.
Here I am.
Yeah, you got to fill the bags. In 5 years, anything under 20,000 is just going to be silly. It's going to be like, I can't believe we were talking about those $2,000 differences.
Right.
Absolutely. I think this is actually just still starting, man. The infrastructure is just getting there. I mean, the UI is getting so much better. I mean, everything is just getting better by the day. The announcements are getting better. The institutions that are coming are getting bigger. I mean, it's just getting started.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're just starting to hit the parabolic curve. It's things are going to go fucking insane here, and I'm just so stoked. I can't wait. It's that euphoria of January 2017 is starting to come back again, and I can smell it. And I know we're not there yet, but god damn it, we're getting close.
Amen.
No doubt.
Heck yeah. It's been a crazy ride. Real quick, what are your thoughts on the rap battles, JMACK? I know you kind of really got into them this weekend.
Man, I think those kick ass. Now listen to me. When people shine and they give a talent for free live to everybody in the world, that's fantastic, man.
Oh,
and that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. And I'm telling you, you're going to have a lot of success. You're going to have a lot of notice.
The energy is just, it's addictive and it's contagious.
Absolutely.
And
brand new. It's fresh. It's fun.
It gets people in a good mood. And even when the market is shit, Fridays are amazing because you just get all hang out and just have a good damn time. And
the best part is it's for everybody. You know? Yep. That's
absolutely.
That's why I do it.
And everybody can put a rhyme together and make it sound good.
Yeah.
So everybody welcome. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We had Pandora on there. You threw down some awesome stuff. I mean, Gator's just Gator. He's a DJ by nature. The guy just kills it every week. So it's always a joy watching his stuff.
It's so great getting everybody all involved. There's so many people. We can't even begin to name them all. It's fun.
Absolutely.
It was sweet to see Swiftcrook join in and lay down some rhymes. And I knew he was into crypto and tag him. And there we go. Off we go. And he's going crazy and he's having a good time. And so, it's cool sucking new people into this thing and having a good time with it.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you joined us, man. It was great. It was definitely fun.
It was fantastic. Thanks for coming on. It's been a really awesome night. It's been real fun talking to you, and we're definitely going to have you back on again.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, this was super cool. I just want to say this is the first podcast I've done. I started off a little bit nervous, but you know what? You guys make it right at home. It's like the Campfire field, just like you said. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, JMACK. Nice to have you on the show, buddy. Have a great evening.
All right, keep kicking ass, and I'll see you on Friday night.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Be cool, guys.
All right.
You too.